that's just, being on WWE, they can't get too crazy.
I
And
guess.
Trish is like, I don't know her age, 40, 50. No, she's not 50. She's 50. She's a good 50.
And the night starts off with Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus in a steel cage. And at least we get this shit out of the way. And I don't know. It was an okay match. They were going for it when they were throwing each other into the cage, seeming to dive into it head first and stuff. I don't understand why pinfalls count in a steel cage match. I felt like that took up a lot from the stipulation. Like there were times where Becky or Trish would hit like a big move. They would go for the pinfall. And then of course they would kick out and then they would sit there all shocked and shit instead of actually like going for the door or trying to climb out of the cage. Just little shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pinfalls, but I guess that's just modern day WWE. They don't do you can only win by escaping the cage or
It just makes no sense because
by over the top.
well again, you have the suspense moments of climbing out of the cage, but then like you're taking that away because now you can pin them. When Trish did the widow's peak to Becky and she pinned her, and then Becky was still just lying there. Trish was just sitting there like, oh, I couldn't pin her. It's a fucking steel cage match. Get out of the goddamn cage. But no, she picked her up and she did some other shit. It just seems lazy.
It's just WWE. They almost did a roll up in a cage. I was like, if this is
right,
if this is it.
So Becky will never ever be able to convince me that she's in legitimate pain. There's a moment where she's stretched on the ropes and she's going, ooh, ah. And then Trish has her fingers in Lynch's mouth and she's stretching her face and, oh, ah. And then Trish is raking Becky's face alongside the cage. And then Becky goes, ooh, ah. There's no fucking difference. Like, look at Kevin Owens when he was getting hit with the chair and shit later. Like, just fucking act like you were getting hurt. That's all I'm asking. There was a point where Becky used Trish as a battering ram into the cage. Like she had her on her shoulders in a British Bulldog slam position. Mm-hmm. And she just starts ramming her into the cage. I thought that looked really cool. There's a spot where Becky and Trish, they're slamming each other's heads into the cage, like just repeatedly, just going nuts. But apparently that only hurts Trish Stratus because Becky was able to just shrug it off and stick her tongue out. And,
she liked it.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot.
There you go.
I thought Lynch kicking out of the Bulldog from the top rope was really stupid. That was Trish's finisher. Lynch kicked out of it like Super Cena. Then Lynch gives Stratus a normal superplex. Nothing out of the ordinary, but we're supposed to have our dicks hard because she was hanging off the cage. And then that whole spot where Trish was just upside down and doing the little handstand off the fucking cage where she had her legs trapped. Stupid.
She almost tore her knee out. Bending like that.
And finally, Zoe Stark, she comes out and she does nothing really but show that she can't handle Becky Lynch after she's had a cage match. And then Becky hits a rock bottom from the top rope and she gets a pin in a cage match. Thankfully, this is over. Then Stark and Trish get into it after the match and Stark does her little spinny flippy thing to Trish. And that's it.
I thought this was not a bad match. As a matter of fact, by Trish and Becky's standards, this was probably the best match that they could have done. Hopefully this is the last match that they will do together. I guess we're already teasing that is a thing that's coming. But yeah, I thought they did good.
Okay.
I'm not going to, Michael Cole tried to
say it was the match of the year. Yeah, I fucking heard him. He was a fucking idiot. No.
I'm not going to go that far, but it was a good match. For me, definitely one of the better matches that these two could have done. Better than, like, what was the Indian show? Crown Jewel, was it?
Crown Jewel or, yeah.
Definitely better than that match.
Nah, Becky ruined it. Trish was awful. Zoe Stark did nothing. The pinfalls was the main culprit that just killed everything about the steel cage. Yeah.
Did turn the steel cage into just a prop.
It was. The only thing they did was ram each other into it.
Well, now that's just, being on WWE, they can't get too crazy.
I guess.
And Trish is like, I don't know. I don't know her age, 40, 50? No, she's not 50. She's 50. She's a good 50. I'll give her that. But I don't think she's 50. Maybe like 40, 45, something.
She was
So she's not
committing
gonna
to
get too crazy.
came into the cage. I'll give her that, but I don't know. Something about it that left a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, hopefully the feud is over.
I certainly hope so. Trish apparently got like a really nice ovation after the match, so maybe that was her last dance.